The Pelicans close out Summer League with a loss to the Pacers, and the news of the day, Derik Queen injured. We're going to unpack all of that today on this episode of Flock. Let's get it. So g'day everyone, I am your host, Lyle Swithenbank, at Lyle Swithenbank on Twitter. Make sure you hit that subscribe button underneath. We are building. Thanks to Jake for jumping on the last episode. If you missed that one, make sure you jump on the channel and have a look and follow that. Or, if you're listening to the audio-only version, you can listen on Apple Music, you can listen on Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you can get your podcasts. We are on there. So make sure you go and check it all out because we are leading into a big season. Unfortunately, that big season is going to be delayed for one of our up-and-coming rookies, Derik Queen. It was announced this morning from Shams Shanaria that Pelicans forward / centre Derik Queen underwent surgery to repair a torn scapholonate ligament, and I have butchered that because I'm not a medical professional and reading it off the paper, in his left wrist, and will be reevaluated in 12 weeks. Reevaluated in 12 weeks, not just return, reevaluated. So we're in July. Today's the 19th of July, 18th if you're in the US. 3 months, August, September, October, that's 3. The season starts at the end of October, so he's going to be touch and go to start that season. He's going to miss training camp, you would imagine. Hopefully the recovery is not too arduous. Thankfully, if there's any silver lining to this, it's his wrist. So in terms of staying fit, learning plays, being able to move around the court and work on positioning and things like that, well, you can still do all of that. You can do plenty of running. One of the knocks on him probably in Summer League was his conditioning. Well, that's pretty much all you're going to be able to do because you can't use your hands. I genuinely hope that this is one of those 3-month injuries and then he's right to go. But again, you just don't know how it's going to affect him. Hopefully it means that he can have a swift recovery. They got onto it quickly with the surgery. It happened in the Portland game apparently. And we saw that he wasn't playing in that Thunder game or the one tonight against the Pacers. And his hand was in a cast. So, just a big knock on a guy that we traded a first-round pick for, and that is going to be the biggest asterisk, and talking point about this injury is that, the people that said, I told you so, well, there you go. And unfortunately, you can't help injuries, right? And they happen, and for a guy that's coming into a season with a lot of pressure because of that traded draft pick, being the 2026 one in the trade, I feel sorry for him. He's a young guy. He's trying to learn the ropes, and this just adds another setback and another pressure put on his shoulders to be able to go out there and perform when he does get those minutes. He tweeted out some crying emojis, and you know what? The hardest part about this is that the human side sometimes gets lost in it all. This is a young guy trying to start his professional career. There's been a lot of talk about him since he was drafted and even before as to what sort of player he was going to be. And it's just another sort of knock, and I feel for him. So thinking of Derik Queen, I hope he has a speedy recovery. If we want to, we're going to just talk about that injury a little bit more and what it means. So thanks to Google MD, which is how we all go and diagnose ourselves with things. That ligament is a key structure in the wrist, connecting the scaphoid and lunate bones. It's crucial for wrist stability and proper movement. Injuries to this ligament can lead to pain, instability, and long-term problems. Fantastic. So it's a C-shaped band in your wrist, and I'm holding that up for the viewers, but if you're listening, well, I'm pointing to my wrist, and it's basically in between the your hand and your wrist, and it's where those knuckle bones where your hand joins your arm. It's in there. So not great. Probably has a bit of fine motor stuff involved as well. And they say it plays a role in proprioception, which is the body's sense of where it is in space. So is this like a balance thing as well? It not ideal. Not ideal at all. There's plenty of issues that could be long term. I'm hoping because they got into it so quickly that they can just, rehab it and he comes back completely fine. But there are some side effects to this which could be long term. I'm praying and hoping, and I think we all are, that this is one of those injuries that you have early on in your career. You get back and you're fine, and he's young. They heal quicker when they're younger. So we just send our thoughts to him and hope it's for the best recovery and as quickly as possible, because we want to see him on the court. And also, we've put some chips in the middle to get this guy. So I look forward to seeing him out there, and no doubt he'll have a swift recovery, and he'll be back on the court in due course. So all the best to Derik Queen. We're thinking of you, mate, and looking forward to seeing you back out there when the time comes. Gosh, this team, I tell you what, we talked with Jake Madison yesterday on the pod about just getting healthy, and there you go. Not even 12 hours later, he's in. One of your players is in for surgery. That means you've got guys like DeJounte Murray, Herb, Trey, and now Derik Queen coming into this season off surgeries. DeJounte's going to be a bit longer. I'm hoping Herb and Trey are ready for the season. You never know what it's going to be like coming off those shoulder surgeries. Trey, we saw some footage of him shooting a couple of days ago, or maybe last week, but Pelicans fans they just deserve a bit of health, a bit of good luck. We've been through the mud for so many years. There's so much turnover, and every time you get a bit of, an upside season and a bit of hype coming in, there's something just to knock you back down, and it's so frustrating to see. So I hope for the best, that these guys can all come in and contribute and look like their old selves. Are we going to start slow this season? I don't know. None of us know. We're in the middle of July. Let's hope we come out firing and, win the first 30 games and go undefeated for the season. I know it's probably wishful thinking, but currently we're 0-0. So, yeah, until it gets underway, who knows how it's going to go. Injuries. They suck. Will I go as far as saying the Pelicans are cursed? No. But, gosh, I can see the people that do think that, and why they do, because we get plenty of bad luck, that's for sure. Now, we're going to digress a little bit, and I think this episode will be a little bit shorter because we watched the final Summer League game. We'll talk about that and then get out of here. I won't hold you too long for your Friday night or your Saturday morning, depending on when you're listening. And the Pelicans, so in Summer League, you all get 5 games. We were in the consolation because we lost all 4 of our first games. The other ones are playing in, the rest of the teams will be playing for, the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then go on to the grand final, which is on Monday. So, and that is not us. I don't even know who's in it. I haven't watched any of the other games. I watched the Pelicans, and that was enough Summer League basketball for me. So, the Pelicans lose 113-104 to the Indiana Pacers. And that is a much more flattering scoreline than what it looked like for most of the game. We did not really fire a shot after the first quarter, and the Pacers looked like a team that still had something to prove, and we sort of came out and just got dog-walked from the beginning. Who'd we have as the starters? We had Fears, Reeves, Dickinson, Shoemate, and Keon Brooks. Starters were all fairly productive in terms of their scoring. Keon Brooks, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 7 of 14 shooting. It was fairly effective. It was, again, one of those nights that turnovers absolutely killed us. And anytime you would get a bit of a run, the turnovers killed us. And we'll talk a little bit about the turnovers to come. Shoemate, 3 points, 4 rebounds, hustling as per normal. And you had Hunter Dickinson, who is massive. He is a huge man and played quite well, I thought. He's very good at using his size. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 5 of 8 shooting. Tried a skyhook at one point, didn't work, but I like the confidence. I thought that was a great attempt. Added a bit of spice to the rebound as it ricocheted off for someone else. Reeves had 18 points, started better than he finished. 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 7 of 12 shooting, 4 of 6 from 3. Was solid, carried us offensively throughout the game. Played mostly a lot more early on. And then Jeremiah Fears, 27 minutes. He had 22 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, a block, 7 of 16 shooting, 1 of 5 from 3, 7 of 10 from the free throw line, 5 turnovers. But gosh, his second half was unreal. He started 1 of 6. He was getting to the line pretty much at ease, but was playing a bit how we'd seen him, a bit out of control, forcing things, anticipating his teammates to be in situations that they weren't or positions that they were meant to be, and then just sort of let the game breathe a little bit. And that second half, he got going, finishing 7 of 16. There was a play with about 4 minutes left in the game where he took a 3, and he's got to take them. That's part of being the point guard and to play in the NBA. You've got to be able to shoot threes. And he missed it. They got the rebound. He then stole the ball. And as AD always tells us, 2 for $1, bang, hits that 3. And that was one of the best plays that he'd done in the game. I really liked that heads-up anticipation that this guy just thought he was getting easy rebounds so he could jog it up. Nope, head on a swivel, give me that ball, bang, and punish them. And I like that that mentality that just because we're down by, 15, 20, go and get the ball and make a run. And, we finished, we lose by 9, which I think is flattering to us. It was much worse at different points of the game. But yeah, I thought Jeremiah Fears was good. Everything we've seen from him in terms of his development each game has been positive. Turnovers are always going to be an issue when you're holding the ball that much, and you're also the focal point, right? They know that you're getting the ball, you're bringing it up, you're handling it, you're going to have turnovers. 5 is still better than some of the games that he's had in terms of the turnover amount. And, 4 assists to 5 turnovers, it's not too bad. I like that he's been finding teammates a bit more. And, the 3 steals and a block. 4 defensive stats, gosh, not bad at all with that. So, to the bench, we had Hunter. He had 4 points, 1 of 4. Didn't do too much at all. Trey Alexander played a lot, 24 minutes, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 of 5. He looked aggressive, only 1 turnover. Didn't have a huge impact, but, he was bringing the ball up. He was playing as that backup point guard, and did a number of things. He was, like his box scores sort of said, he was doing a bit of everything. And the 6 assists I like. He was getting people in a position to be successful, pushing the pace at times and grabbing rebounds. That's all you can ask. Come in, play your role, and, don't do anything wrong. And he only had 1 turnover. So, minus 10 on these advanced stats, but, who was positive? Jeremiah Fears, for anyone that played decent minutes. He was the only one in positives. So we then go down. Lester played 13 minutes, 4 and 4, and 1 assist. He hit 2 of 7. It wasn't his night. Missed all his threes. Didn't play a big role. We know what he can do, so I don't think there was much point playing him more than that. Hoggard played 12 minutes. Didn't get ejected in this one, which, credit to him. Despite, I love that, the aggression. He had 1 point and 3 rebounds. He's fast, played 12 minutes. What are you going to do? Get up and down a few times. Townsend, 5 points. Anderson had 3, 4, and 2. 1 steal and 1 block. Did a bit of everything. Hit his 1 shot. And Will Baker from LSU, 10 points and 2 rebounds. Big unit. Gets the ball in 6 minutes. That's not bad. So to close out the game, he was pretty solid. He was being aggressive and, give me a spot. This is what I can do. So there's one overall sort of thing with these big guys is that you can't teach tall. You just cannot. And I'll preach that if you are bigger than other people, you have an advantage in basketball because the ball up high means that other people can't get it. If you can use your size and your strength and your ability to put the ball up high from everyone else, you have an ability to play basketball. That doesn't necessarily translate in terms of positioning and things like that, but it is an advantage. The taller you are, the easier it is to get rebounds, right, for the most part. And so I like that they were aggressive. They used their bulk, and I also liked at times, Jeremiah Fears was particularly very good at this, using the big guy's size as screens, as blockers for the defenders. And they may not have even set screens, but he was willing to navigate around them to just catch defenders, on the hip of Dickinson and Baker, and getting to the basket and opening up that space for himself. And I really like that. And intelligent guards are able to, without having set screens, navigate around and use, the pathways and their other players as blockers without them intending to be. And so I really liked watching Jeremiah Fears navigate that space and use it to his advantage to get to the basket. I mean, he gets the basket at will, and part of that is that change of pace and the ability to find gaps in between other players to get himself into a position to be successful. So I really like that. I thought he was really good. I thought, the change of pace was nice. And I genuinely am excited about him, and touch wood that they can just wrap him in cotton wool until the season starts and, keep him safe, because he was really good. And definitely worth this seventh pick. I'll say that now. I'm sure it'll, resurface at some point when I'm wrong, but I thought he's been playing great, and I'm really excited to watch him on this team. I genuinely am. So I think he's got a bright future. So, where are we at? Well, the three key takeaways is that turnovers kill you, right? The first one, turnovers, you're never going to win games turning the ball over as much as you do. The Pacers had 11 turnovers. We had 16, but they came in spurts. So you're turning the ball over in situations that just kill your momentum. It's all right, you turn it over once. Okay, it goes out of bounds, dead ball, get your defense set. If you turn it over at the top of the three-point line, that's a run out straight away. And if you do it 2 or 3 plays in succession, you are not going to be able to stop that momentum. The team gets a tail up and they keep running and they continue to score easy baskets. And all of a sudden, a lead that might have been 5 points is blowing out to 10, 12, 14 because you've not taken care of the ball. And I get that in Summer League, everyone's auditioning. You want to show your speed. You want to show your ability to score in transition. But at times, we move too fast for our own good, and perhaps the brain was working faster than the body did. So you turn the ball over, defender runs out and scores at the other end. And instead of the highlight play you thought you were getting, it turns into 2 points at the other end. And Keon Brooks was he had it a couple of times. Shoemate got caught out. There was a few guys throughout the Trey Alexander had one where the ball just basically fell out the hands and they ran back up the other end. There was also situations where there was like a handoff and the ball, I don't know who it was between, but there was a handoff and the ball ends up the other end, dunk it, and they're laughing, high-fiving guys in the crowd. So what are you going to do? It was disappointing and it's really frustrating. I bet it's frustrating for the players and the coach as well when it's the simple things that go awry that cause the most damage. It's a make or miss league. You miss shots, so be it. You're in Summer League. Take your shots. Show what you're willing to take, what you can make. If you miss them, well, so be it. But where you're just bringing the ball up and you turn it over, these are the fundamental things that you need to show. This is what I can do really well. And if it's handling the ball and that's your job and you can't do that very well, or you can't deal with pressure or being defended, those are things that I think coaches are sitting there going, okay, well, I can't trust him under pressure. I know that I can only put him on with another ball handler, things like that. These are all things that, makes you give pause when you're trying to be recruited. So I that is something that really stuck out for me, and this is that there's some very good guards in Summer League. There are also some people that need a little bit of work. So that's how it goes. Second takeaway is that I think Jeremiah Fears is a good player. I think he's going to be a really, really good player. He has the leadership of a point guard. He has change of pace. I don't know what the comparison is. We've seen Kyrie Irving. I've said Russell Westbrook. People have said Allen Iverson. I think it's unfair to put a label on him, in hindsight, of course. I don't know what he is. He's quick. He can score. He can dunk. He's athletic. He's got traits of a whole heap of good point guards. He's got great leadership. Maybe he's just the first Jeremiah Fears. I don't know. I don't know what he could be, but I think the sky's the limit with him, and I think it's purely health and being put in positions to be successful by coaches and players. So we'll see, I think. We'll see how it unfolds. And finally, thoughts and prayers just to Derik Queen. It just sucks. The whole situation sucks. You get 3 months off for what? Because you played a game of basketball and it's your thumb, your wrist. It's so frustrating. It's not like you can't run. It's a broken leg. Everyone knows these sorts of injuries. You've got some obscure ligament injury in your wrist that's hard to describe, and you're out for 3 months, at least. It's it's just really disappointing for a young guy with a high upside, and you just feel for him. So again, just to finish off, all the best to Derik Queen, and hopefully it's not as bad as we hope, and the surgery was a raging success, and he can get back on the court sooner rather than later. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. Look, it's a Friday night. It's a Saturday morning for me. We'll go and start the rest of our days now. We've watched the Pelicans finish off their Summer League campaign. We'll be back probably next week definitely next week at some point to chat more Pels. We'll keep unpacking the off-season. We've got plenty coming up, more guests, we love those, and I think we'll leave it at that. So, I am your host, Lyle Swithenbank. This is Flock. You can follow us on Twitter, @Lyle Swithenbank. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, comments, whatever you want to do. If you're listening on the audio version, make sure you hit that download button, and I'm appreciating the support. I'm loving getting back into podcasting. It's been a long time between drinks, so I'm looking forward to getting a bit more consistent and chatting pals, because that's what we're about, and that's what we enjoy, and that's why we listen to these things. So, of course, stay safe, and bye for now.